All right, guys, what is going on? Well, let me move this closer. What is going on? What is good, everyone? Hope you guys had a good weekend. Okay. We should be good to go. Damn, this fucking... I need to get a new phone, chat. I need to get a new phone. What do we got here? Mark, 2020, Jorks, Roberto, Lawrence, Slowly, Akil, Joey, Admin, Eric. Who else is here, dog? Starting off with 28 today. Very good. Very good. Did you have a good weekend? Are you all shocked at our price action today? Pretty interesting stuff. They say the markets can't be manipulated, right? But we get an 800-point candle in 5 minutes. Okay. That's fucking weird. Was good, Scott. Happened at a macro. Yeah, at 6:05. But I will tell you though, I would not attribute that to the macro. I would attribute that to manipulation. I think the fact that it happened in a macro time window is just a coincidence. As much as I'd like to brag, I will not. I will find it weird though. It is a little weird. Was good, Ferrero Rocher. Dude, I'm good, man. I'm blessed. Spent a few $100 yesterday. Man, I got so much stuff, dude. I got a new air fryer. Steak. Grass-fed ground beef. Grass-fed ground beef burger patties as well. Bunch of other stuff, dude, like 24-pack of White Monster. I don't care if you guys don't like it. I like everything but the Monster. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I like it all. But that's why I fucking bought it. You know what I mean? Was good, Zen. Shorts were money today. Yeah, I suppose so. He said John's swollen Nachi. Nah, it won't be like that. I don't work out like that. I mean, I do work out to an extent, but not like that. But not like that. But I will tell you, though, I won't cover this a lot, but this is an introduction, and I want to get a few more people on here before I want to show you what I want to show you, or tell you what I want to tell you. I definitely think the organic cotton makes a difference. The t-shirts, the draws, pillowcase, and I'm actually getting, I'll probably order it today, but I'm going to order some organic cotton bed sheets as well. So that stuff definitely makes a difference. It's super comfortable. And, you know, the Icelandic water, matter of fact, I got some right here. The Icelandic water, I talk about this all the time. Absolutely phenomenal. Goated water. Goated water. I don't care. Saratoga's pretty nice. Mountain Valley's pretty nice. Evian's better than both. And Iceland, it takes the cake. Personally. Get the silk pillow sheets. It's good for the hair, apparently. What fucking hair do you think I have, 2020? What hair are you talking about? See, we're not even 10 minutes into the stream. You guys are already on some Tom fucking foolery. This is what you guys do all weekend. You find new ways to disappoint me. That's what the fuck you do. Did you have a good weekend? Yeah, John, I made a whole roster of ways to disappoint you. This is how we use our time, chat. You know, time's our most valuable asset, chat. I'll tell you that. And if you want to spend it doing that, be my guest. But I don't recommend it. What was I talking about? Yeah, all the like organic cotton stuff definitely makes a difference. I would also say that, you know, your food diet definitely makes a difference as well. So I feel great. You know what I mean? And if I have a second energy drink throughout the day, dude, I kid you not, there's probably a time window of like 20 minutes that I just feel like I could fight a bear. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I could just run through a wall if I wanted to. And it's the most craziest, like, 20, maybe 30 minutes, like, of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like my heart is probably overclocked. If y'all know what, like, overclocking a computer is, I feel like my heart might be overclocked. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool. Get shit done. Okay, anyway, we got almost 50 people on here. We can get on with it. We can get on with it now. All right, let me ask you guys a question. This is what I have. This is probably going to be a short stream. But let me ask you guys this. What do pilots, surgeons, the military, accountants, and engineers all have in common? There's at least one thing that all of those professions have in common. I'll tell it to you again. Pilots, ideally pilots, surgeons, the military, accountants, engineers. And there's a few more. I'm just not going to give you the whole list. You're going to get the gist of it. But all of those professions have at least one thing in common. What do you think it is? I wouldn't say an attribute like patience or discipline, although they definitely have those things. Precision, probably. Hours logged in training, probably. But think about procedures. Think about organizational skills. He said hella student debt. Yeah. Gold star for you, Joey. Thank you for that. See, when we talk about thinking outside of the box, that's thinking outside the box. That's a gold star answer. Plans? Look, I don't expect you to get it because it's very difficult. Unless you read a lot of books and you listen to me rant all the time. But what all of those professions have in common, they have at least one thing. And you're not wrong. Patience, discipline, precision, training, student debt. Sure. Focus, stuff like that. But when it comes to organizational skills, when it comes to procedures, the answer I'm looking for is that they all have the utilization of a checklist. It's a checklist. They have a list of things that they need to do. Y'all have you ever watched, like, either, I don't know, maybe Top Gun, but if you've ever watched a movie where there's a pilot, all of the pilots, right, they run through what? It's a checklist. They got all those buttons and knobs and scanners and all type of things they got to go through. Cabin pressure, fuel levels and altitude and longitude and all that shit, right? Weather patterns and time of takeoff and all that stuff. I studied Pilot Academy. They had a checklist, right? Different checklists for different things. Well, yeah, of course, but we're not getting into the details of every profession here. My point is, all of these major profession, because these are big deals. Pilots, big deal. You know, you got 100 souls, 120 souls on board. You can't be fucking that up, because then everybody's dead, right? Surgeons, same thing. Can't chop off the wrong leg. That's happened. You can't leave utensils and shit in people's bodies. That's happened. The military, highly organized. Well, most of them. You got your occasional dirtbags, but a lot of people in the military use checklists, especially for, like, handling weapons and ammunition and expensive shit. Accountants, engineers, I'm sure you get it by now. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. human beings, right? We want to maximize productivity and efficiency. But you see, the problem is we eventually hit the ceiling of human capability. Memory fades or it slips. We miss something easy by accident. We're susceptible to distractions, to fears, and to easy mistakes. A checklist is one of the guardrails to keep us on track. Now, why would I bring this up? Why do you think I'd bring this up, chat? Because as traders, it would also be beneficial to have a checklist of some sort. Now, what I'm giving you here, most of these are like first principles, like universal, meaning that no matter what type of trader you are, the economic calendar is going to be a big deal. Top-down analysis, really good for day traders, but I'm sure everybody can agree that that's pretty solid. The framework, like your market maker models or Wyckoff, if you believe in that. Day of the week, time of day, proper risk, and also proper reward. And that if you're getting ready to take a trade, that it is within the parameters of your max risk and your max number of trades. That's what that means. Okay, so this really has not a lot to do like with your model. For an example, you can add whatever you'd like. You want to add the mitigation model to that, you want to add the low risk buy to that, or second leg accumulation distribution or whatever, then you add that. This is not a complete list. This is a foundation. This is a starting point for traders. So hopefully you guys can appreciate that. We got 52 viewers, 10 likes. Can we get those likes up a little bit? Could we do that? Could we do that? Doesn't cost you anything. Doesn't cost you anything. But yeah, so the economic calendar, if you did not know, real easy. You can go to forexfactory.com. Make sure that at the top right, there's a time zone. Make sure your time zone is correct. So that way you actually know which hour or time is in your time zone. So it's not like an hour before or after, and you don't want to mess that up. Right? So we have like flash PMI tomorrow on the 24th. British pound CPI on Wednesday. Unemployment claims on Thursday. Pre-market for the dollar. And that's really about it. It's kind of a light week news-wise. Top-down analysis. What is top-down, chat? What is top-down analysis? Especially for day traders. When you hear somebody say that, top-down analysis, what does that mean? I'll give you guys a second to type whatever you need to type. I know it's a members-only chat. It's been that way for a while. I may open it up later this week. Go to multi-frames and see the context in the bias. Weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour. Felix says, don't get lost in the lower time frames. Check the weekly, daily, and 1 hour. Yeah, that's fine. Right, so basically, weekly, daily, intraday. There's a video we did on that. The name is escaping me. The triple screen. The triple screen. Remember, we divided a entire screen into 3 parts: high time frame, medium time frame, and low time frame. Zen said, what's the best time frame? Well, definitely not the 3 minute and the 12 hour. or the 9 hour, or those weird ass time frames. But I will say price is fractal, so it doesn't really matter. You can still use a 3 minute. I don't personally, but I prefer weekly, daily, 1 hour, 15, 5, and 1. So I'll go to the 2 minute sometime. If the 1 minute is wonky, I'll go to the 2 minute because it smooths it out a little bit. But ideally, weekly, daily, 1 hour, 15, 5, and 1. Now, when it comes to time frame alignment, that you want to align 3 time frames. That's the point of the triple screen, is to align 3 time frames. So if you're bullish on the daily, right, and then the 15 minute takes out yesterday's low, and then, you know, the 1 minute setting up a mitigation model, boom, there you go. There's your time frame alignment. Because you're aligning the 1 minute with the daily bias. The 15 minute was enough to see London's low. It's not complicated. 3 time frames. Nicholas, that's a good point as well. Where is price coming from? Where is it at? And where is it going? Right. It's a fuller view of the market. Yeah, 27 minute. Yeah, go ahead and use a 27 minute chart. And you let me know how that goes. All right. Anyway, framework, market maker models. I've spent so much time on that recently. I really don't need to cover it all that much. But if you've never seen it, if you're new here, I've been getting new followers on Instagram lately, which is really awesome. So that's what a market maker buy model is. There is an inverse to this as well. And this is a framework for how markets operate. Not every second of every day, but when you see stuff like this and you're anywhere on the buy side of the curve, that's important to know, because you understand that price is in a buy program. So the algorithm's going to take price higher above some highs, probably beyond that. And you want to be aware of that, so you're not trying to short with equal highs and then you get blasted. So that's what that is. Day of the week. Have you ever noticed? Because it sounds the same on every market review, but how do I open my market reviews? All right, it's Tuesday, November, whatever, 2025. It's our first market review for the week. Thursday. All right, guys, it's Thursday, January, whatever, 2026. You ever notice that? I always tell you the day of the week. It's a habit, but it's also to tell you, hey, this is Thursday. So we usually look at like Wednesday and Thursday, or on Tuesday, we look at Monday and Tuesday. So you're understanding day of the week phenomenon. I told you there's a reason I do everything that I do. Anyway, time of day. Sessions. London session. Pre-market. New York. Equities AM. Equities PM. Lunch. Final hour. Macros. Hourly opens. Stuff like that. Proper risk and reward. Obviously, that is up to you on what your risk is. If your risk is $100 a trade or $1,000 a trade or whatever it is, you know, that's obviously up to you. And then proper reward. You know, something, ideally something above 1 to 1. Okay, 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 or better. And then, of course, within max risk, in trade number of trades. So hopefully you guys can appreciate that. Again, there's like almost 70 people on here now. This is not a complete list. This is a foundational list. There are still other things you need to add in here. You could add relative strength. You could add, you know, a model that you use, or some of the models that you use. You know, maybe you could add a box for a mitigation and an imbalance. right? You may not want to take a mitigation that doesn't have an imbalance. You know what I mean? Or you may want to ride out balanced price range, manipulation, certain stages of the framework. I mean, again, there's all types of things that you can add on your own. You know what I mean? And not to toot my own horn here, but I don't just teach you one or two models. I teach you a lot of models, but I also teach you how to create your own models. So that's the level of freedom that Mark Douglas was talking about in trading in his own, or disciplined trader, or maybe both. But the markets, right? We can quite literally do anything. We can buy it whatever time we'd like. We can hold it for as long as we want, you know, provided you don't get a margin call or, you know, certain instances like that. You can trade with whatever strategies you want. You can use whatever indicators you want. Like, there's literally an unlimited number of things that we can do. We can literally make up our own time frames. There's ultimate freedom here. You know, basically ultimate freedom here. So it's up to you to put up these sort of guardrails. And I use that term because if you guys have ever been bowling before, drop a 1 in the chat if you've been bowling before. Is Willow here today? I didn't see him in the chat. Okay. Well, most of you have probably been bowling before. And you guys know, whenever you see a little kid at the bowling alley, you know, what do the parents usually do? The parents press the button and those guardrails come up. So that way the kid, you know, when they throw the ball down, it doesn't just go straight in the gutter. It stays within the lane so it can go hit some of the pins, right? That's what a guardrail is. It keeps the ball on the lane. A checklist is one of the guardrails that we can have. Why? Because by following a check or let's say pre-trade checklist, or even like a weekend checklist, right? For the economic calendar, top down and all that. It's so that way you don't make easy mistakes. You know, if you trade and not understand that, hey, you're trading a couple minutes before CPI and you get your ass blasted, you know, that's a ball straight in the gutter. Only instead of a ball, that's your account. You know what I mean? And everything else. You know, you might be trading a good setup, but if it ain't at the right time of day, it ain't going to work. Because the law of high probability is time, price, and context. And without time alignment, that's not a high probability trade. You guys get me? So, yeah. That's why I use that. So again, it's not a concept we have to spend a whole hour on. You know, I think, have I said enough, chat? Drop a 2 if this is enough to go, okay, I see what you're saying. There's pilots, engineers, and surgeons. All of them utilize some sort of checklist for literally safety. Rules are written in blood. There's a reason that, you know, pilots go through a checklist, because it's so easy to forget something, especially if you're a newer pilot, beginner pilot. You know, I'm not an expert in that field, but I'm pretty sure you have to fly a certain number of hours on your own before you can get a license to fly other people. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think they do that? So you don't do some stupid shit, get a bunch of people killed. Same for the surgeons and, you know, accountants, right? You're going to be an accountant at some big ass firm trying to keep track of millions and millions of dollars as a beginner. Probably not. You know what I'm saying? So as traders with a almost unlimited level of freedom to trade however we'd like, we don't get guardrails. And I mean, if you trade prop, yeah, there's certain things you can't do. You can't hold overnight, you know, for a lot of them. Can't do this, can't do that. It's a highly rigid, rule-based system. And they do that, you know, to protect traders, right? It's more to it than that, but you guys get what I'm saying. So we have to place our own guardrails in our trading in order for us to stay in that lane. But instead of a bowling alley lane, it would be profitability. So that's it. That's all I got for you today. If you guys have any questions, now is the time. April book of the month, by the way, because it's our last full week of the month in March. April starts on Wednesday of next week, so we got a little bit over a week. But now is right around the time that I start telling you about book of the month. Book of the month, baby. For April, the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. I'm super excited for this one. Now, this is the annotated edition, so it's a lot longer. Because, as you'll notice, like the upper half is Meditations, and the bottom half is annotations of, you know, what this word means or who that person was in relation to Marcus. So it's a little bit easier to follow along. It is more to read, but it gives you a fuller understanding of Marcus, and I think it's great. So you can either do the Modern Library translation, which is the best one in my opinion. The Modern Library, that's the black one with the red raven on it. Or you can do the annotated edition. It's a couple dollars more, but you'll get a fuller picture. So yes, Alberto, April is a week and 2 days away. Time is flying. To better understand the points on the checklist, it would be very wise to watch the videos you have on your channel that correspond to each point. Probably. I mean, I briefly covered it here. You know, we didn't really go in depth on every single one, but that's what a lot of the streams are for. That's what a lot of the videos are for. So if you don't understand market maker models, right? If you don't understand something like this, that's okay. That's why there's a masterclass on it. That's why I cover it all the time. That's why when I tell you, oh, you know, look up here when we're down here or something, not in this case, but, you know, if you've been following along long enough, you know, when we look at equal highs or equal lows and price goes there, that gives you that experience. But yeah, you're welcome to look at the videos on each one of those. And I think that was it. Yeah, book of the month, meditations for next month. You should be, let me see if I can find this really quickly. You should be relatively close to finishing Stillness is the Key. Today's the 23rd, so you should be starting part 3 or should be already almost done with this. Can you guys see that? Everybody might not be able to see it. There we go. You should be able to see that. So the book is broken down into 3 parts. Because today's the 23rd, that means you should be on part 3 or close. Otherwise, you are behind. So, but you know what's really cool? I'll end it with this. You know what's really cool? I really wanted to save this for you. I really wanted to save it. But do you remember that image I shared the other day? Check this off. Do you remember this? we're further along now because we're on. You guys might not be able to see that, but there's a few more X's here now that we're there. But we are in the last full week of March. We have like Monday and Tuesday of next week, and then that's it. So the first quarter of 2026 is basically done, right? So if you were to do a recap, think about how much content you've consumed so far. If there are 4 live streams per week, for the free people, it's 3. Right? So if there's, how many weeks have we gone through? That first one's a half week. The last one's kind of a half week. But that's about 14 weeks, maybe 13 weeks. 13 weeks times 2 market reviews. What's that? 26? 26 market reviews. 13 times 4 is a lot, maybe 50 something. That's 50 something live streams plus Stillness is the Key, How to Read a Book, and How to Think, How Successful People Think by John Maxwell. Think about that. 3 books, 50 something stream, 52. Thank you for that. It was close enough for government work. All those live streams and market reviews, plus all the reels that I've been posting on Instagram. That's a lot of content you got in 90 days. Do you see how much you can actually get out of being here? How much you can get out of reading books in 3 months, in 90 days? Do you know how much your life can change in 90 days if all you were to do was lock in? Lock in. That's all you got to do. You can miss a couple live streams. You can miss a couple chapters of the books. You could miss a couple of the market reviews. I'm not saying that you guys are going to be perfect. But even half of that, a book and a half in 3 months, is like way more than most people. Most people don't read anything all year. So even if you read a third of each of the books, that's still going to put you in the top 10% of people who read, period. So imagine for a second, I'll close with this. Imagine this for a second. What I just shared with you about the last almost 90 days, 3 months, 52 market reviews, or excuse me, not that many, 52 live streams. For the free people, it'd be like 40 maybe. 3 books and everything else I just talked about. Now project that for the rest of the year. How many streams is that? It's like 200 streams, isn't it? Maybe a little bit more. 52, 104, be 208 roughly. There's 11 books, because remember, 48 Laws we're doing for 2 months. 11 books. Hours of content. Market review after market review after market review. Think about where your life would be after a year of just locking in. Now you add on top of that, swapping out some fucked up toxic chemical dog shit you eat and replace it with better food. Replace your sodas with water, right? Actually go outside and walk around, you know, take walks, stuff like that. Journal. Journal. Right? Utilizing checklists, not just for trading, but in your personal life as well. You guys don't even know, man. You guys don't even know. We're only 3 months into the year. Not even a full 3 months yet. We're only 3 months into the year, less than that. And you already see how much stuff you can get out of just being here. Even if you're not a member. Book of the month is public. You just got to read them. Live streams, they're free. 3 out of the 4 are free. All you got to do is show up. That's it. Show up, buy the book, read the book, do the work. Learn, apply, repeat. That's Wisdom Takes Work by Ryan Holiday. That's the subtitle. Learn, apply, repeat. And that's it. So with that, y'all be good. Be blessed. We'll cut it short today because I don't have anything else for you. I don't think today is a great day to trade, personally. So that's good, Alberto. You watch my streams more than Netflix. That's good. That's real good. So we'll be here same time, same place tomorrow on Tuesday, the 24th. All right. Make good decisions. Don't do anything stupid. I'll see you tomorrow.
Every part of